City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own.
Greymane or
Why
Battleborn?
don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland
Got
Greymane?
stones in your ears? I asked what side you're on. Greymane or Battleborn? New in town, huh? Whiterun's got two clans, both old and both respected. Difference is, the Greymanes turned their backs on the Empire, and we Battleborn stayed loyal. So I'll ask again, Greymane or Battleborn? Sooner or later, we all have to choose a side. Long live the Empire.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. Aye, that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgroof the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. Thanks. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready. Brigands I can handle.
To find that thief's
This
death.
talk of dragons...
I can't stop now, and I can't get the sword on my own. I just need to hire one, maybe two good men.
If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's cauldron.
Nothing?
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
We need more information before we act. Who's this then?
As House Carl, my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the Jarl or his people. So you have my attention. Now explain yourself. Whatever you have to say to the Jarl, you can say to me. I'm
It's all right,
starting to
Garrett.
think...
I want to hear what she has to say. What's this about Riverwood being in danger? girder. Owns the lumber mill, if I'm not mistaken. Pillar of the community. Not prone to flights of fancy. And you're sure Helgen was destroyed by a dragon? This wasn't some Stormcloak raid gone wrong? Really? You're certainly forthright about your criminal past. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute, especially now. What I want to know is, what exactly happened at Helgen? I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
That is a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Balgruuf when his mood is agreeable. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered. Ah, splendid. Our fine city has a... The history of Whiterun begins with your Vasker, the Hall of the Companions. For a long time, it was the only building on the mountain. As time passed, a thriving community sprang up around your Vasker, as was common with mead halls. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast that it is the greatest city in all the holds. That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who served. Long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the Nords, Olaf One-Eye. Olaf did battle with a fearsome dragon named Numenex. The struggle between Olaf and the dragon culminated in a mighty duel atop Mount Anthor, with Olaf the victor. Olaf returned in triumph to Whiterun. By his decree, the city's keep was rebuilt as a prison for Numenex. And so, from that time until this, our great keep has been called Dragon's Reach. Well, there are 3 of them. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the 3. Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill her in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from? I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. Sadly, no. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach. What a fascinating conversation that would be. Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is not a patient man. Oh, I thought you were already... An old tomb, built by... maybe you just want... I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the... Well, must presume... student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Of course, Jarl Balgruf. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure she will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Thrun will be in your debt.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. What are you still doing here? The Jarl said retrieving that stone tablet is a priority, remember? Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Mate, what is it that you need? No doubt, he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also, because he knew he could. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. The day might come when I am forced to draw my... But that day has not come yet. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep. With good... Even now, my court will... We must all... But our... Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters. That is the best we can do. Until next time.
I might just be a servant among... If this here is Dragon's... Yes?
The children of man. Talos is the true god of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit. The very idea is inconceivable to our elven...
I ain't done nothing.
Sharing a heaven with man,
Lady, could you spare a coin?
barely tolerate our presence on Earth.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
I work with my mother, sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Thinking of settling in? There's a house for sale, Breeze Hall. You should talk to the steward up in the keep if you're interested.
Battleborn, give me your money. I don't have any money. You better give me 5 seconds right now or I'm gonna blow you. No, please. I really don't have any money, Blake. I'll give you 10 septims tomorrow. Just don't hit me.